Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see about the high voltage safeties in EV. So let us detailedly discuss this topic in the upcoming slides. So before going into the topic of this particular high voltage safeties in EVs, we need to understand the usage of high voltage in electrical vehicles. So generally, we know that in existing IC engines, only we use the electric current for the purpose of the lighting system, the ignition system, or very few electrical system has been involved in the automobile. But the scenario is not like that in the present electrical vehicles because the whole vehicle is run with the aid of an electric current. Right, so the usage or the involve of the current is increased when we compare to the conventional IC engine. So the high voltage has been involved in this particular electric vehicle. So we need to provide the necessary safety wherever this particular high voltage current has been used. So this high voltage current in EV typically refers to the voltage above the 60 volt, which it poses significant risks such as electric shocks and also the fire hazards. So the components normally include in EV its battery pack, the inverters for the converting process, and the electric motor, and all of things or small components which has been used in the high voltages. And the potential hazards, it includes the electric shock, arc flash, the thermal runaway. So these are some accidents or hazards that are possible due to this particular high voltage. So while designing a vehicle, the engineer should keep these things in mind so that the EV hits the market, and also it just clears the doubts in the user mind about the safety of EVs. So empathy, in empathy part, so there should be a global standard. So in if you take connectors, each and every countries follow different types of connectors. So there should be a global safety standards for all the each and individual components and process involved in EV, so that the manufacturer also can manufacture according to the global standards and national regulations. So some countries have specific national regulations. If it makes it as a global, then it can be very useful to make it as a standard one. And the certificate requirements. So EV must it undergoes rigorous testing to validate its safety features so that it can satisfy the user needs, and it can evolve in an effective way if we address these particular problems. So, what are things that can be possible? So first we can in defined part, as the isolation system is missing, so we can provide the isolation system from the high voltage high voltage components, and from the other things in the cars. And the automatic disconnect can be included so that in case of any problems, the high voltage will not affect or will not create such kind of problems to the vehicles. And use of the battery management system, it continuously monitors the battery health and prevents overcharging and the overheating. So in ideal part is we can use the personal protective equipment in case of the maintenance. So the technicians who handle the IC engines so far for the 20 to 30 years, they should have some awareness when they work in the EVs. So the certain safety protocols that need to be followed by the particular technicians in order to make them free from against the risk of this high voltage. And training and awareness that need to be given for both the technicians and the users for the effective hazard management. And emergency procedures that need to be illustrated in an effective way so that it can be easy to deal when this particular high voltage incidents or any kind of hazards happen in the EVs. So these are some in this slide we'll discuss about the emergency response to high voltage incident. So first we need to identify the level of risk. So the first responder who is seeing it may be the driver or the people who is seeing outside. So they need to identify the type of risk, whether it can be whether high voltage presence is involved or fire is, so what kind of hazard has been happened that need to be analyzed, and they need to approach that particular problem with this with some safety distance, because the safety of that particular first responder is also important. So they need to respond by keeping the safe approach distance. And evacuation protocol, so in case of fire or accidents involving EVs, clear evacuation protocol should be placed to ensure the safety of all the personnel involved. Since the fire problem or catching the fire is different in both EVs and the IC engine, because in IC engine the chance of blasting, it requires some time for blast, but in EV case it is not like that. It will blast immediately when the battery is exposed to the thermal runway. So we need to consider all these things while you're approaching during the high voltage conditions. So this is the mind mapping of this particular topic. So as we understand the high voltage and safety regulations, the safety features in EV design, and best practice for handling EVs, the emergency response to incidents, then case studies, the future trends, and the conclusions. So these are some future trends. So advancement in technologies can improve the handling of the hazards and increasing the public awareness towards EV. They can easily handle during the hazard times. And the regulatory evaluation. So the regulations need to be mandated in case of safety in order to popularize the use of this particular EVs. So on the whole, the first thing is the in case of high voltage, safety is more important, and continuous improvement on technologies and the awareness need to be done, and commitment to the safety for manufacturers, technicians, and the users while accessing EV, because it involves the high voltage. So we need to ensure that all are safe while accessing this particular EVs. So that's all about this video. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you.